I did not always fit in with my siblings. My brother was definitely not a join the team, play a sport kind of guy. And my two sisters were pretty much what you'd expect from little girls growing up in the 70s. They liked pretty dresses. They liked patent leather shoes. My younger sister liked to play house and play with her dolls. I'm not even sure I owned a Barbie. I did have a G.I. Joe with Kung Fu grip, though. My older sister went to dance class. She went to gymnastics. My mom tried very hard to get me into gymnastics. But I thought, me in a leotard? No. I want to play a game with a ball and the opportunity to crash into people. My dad loved sports. As a kid, he was a good athlete. He played everything. By the time us kids came along, he was pretty content to just play catch in the backyard or watch the game on TV. Our house had one TV and 4 channels. It did not matter what the game was. It did not matter what the sport or the team was. If there was a game being broadcast, that's what was on our TV. My mom did not understand his obsession with watching sports. Watching grown men play a children's game, the outcome of which has no bearing on our life whatsoever. But if she was confused about her husband's impassion for sports, she was really, really confused by her very small daughter who wanted to play those sports. I asked, please, can I play football? My dad was mostly on board with it. My mom used her executive power to veto him. I begged, could I play hockey? Hockey was what I wanted to play. The word hockey was not even completely out of my mouth before my mom said no. If she was not going to let me play a full contact sport against boys on turf, there was no way she was going to let her undersized daughter play a full contact sport on ice with sharp metal blades strapped to their feet. I did get signed up for basketball and soccer and baseball. And in fairness to my mom, she came to a lot of my games. She came to cheer me on. But I think she was really there in case I needed to go to the emergency room. She would come to Little League, take her folding chair, and park herself out past third base, down out in foul territory. She would sit down, cross her legs at the ankle, then pick up her book and commence reading. That is how she watched my baseball games. If somebody cheered loudly, or if somebody yelled, "Heads up!" she might look up from her reading. But for the most part, most games were spent with Agatha Christie. We were playing on a hot June day. It was early June, but it felt like one of those August days that are hot and dry and bright. We were playing against a team that had yellow jerseys, and they kind of glowed in the brightness. I could feel the diamond dust in my glove. I could feel it under my hat. I could feel it between my toes. When I watched baseball with my dad, and major league pitchers did this. So I did that. This allowed me several opportunities to get a glimpse of my mom sitting out in left field. I can still picture her sitting there today with her giant floppy sun hat and her Jackie O sunglasses. The boy coming to the plate was the coach's son. The coach was not a happy man. He did not like the fact that there were girls in his league. My team had 2 girls on it. Most of the teams had 1 or 2 girls. His team had none. And as his son dug into the batter's box, he yelled out to him, "Go get her!" And something about the way he punched her made me feel a little uneasy. And I threw my first pitch, and it was past the boy before he even had a chance to lift that bat off of his shoulder. The ump yelled, "Strike 1." And the coach yelled, "Hey, swing that bat! Don't stand there looking at it!" My second pitch went in. It wasn't as good as the first pitch. It was outside. The ump called it a ball. The bat never left his shoulder. But the coach still yelled, "Hey, swing the bat! What are you looking at?" It was a ball. You don't swing at those. I thought about everything my dad had ever told me about throwing a good pitch. Dig in that back foot, kick high, kick hard, and as you whip your arm around, make sure your hand lands at your hip. That's what I did on the next pitch. The batter twitched. The ump called strike 2, and the coach lost his mind just a little bit more. Don't let her strike you out. Swing that bat. Stop looking at it. I knew that no matter what I threw, the next pitch he was going to swing. He was white-knuckling that bat, ready to go. My mom had put down her book. My mom was watching the game. She was staring intently at the batter. I threw that next pitch. He swung with everything he had. It was like out of a cartoon, like Bugs Bunny, swinging with everything, corkscrewing his body, buckling his knees. The ump called him out. And for a moment, I felt very bad for him. Not because he struck out. Everybody strikes out in baseball. And on that day, I was a better pitcher than he was a batter. I felt bad because he was going home with loudmouth coach. It was at that moment that I heard something I'd never heard before. My mom was yelling. Don't get me wrong. She yelled plenty at home. But out here in the wild, at a baseball game, she didn't know the rules. She didn't know when to yell. She didn't know what to yell. But she nailed it that day. He didn't let her strike him out. My mom was telling everybody there that nobody was going to tell her daughter that she couldn't play, unless it was her. She was also telling everybody, I've got your back. I have grown kids now. It's been 50 years. I remember the words. I remember how it made me feel. And I hope that my grown kids know that I have their back even half as much as my mom had mine that day. Thank you.